my name's Melissa, and I am born and raised here in Massachusetts. So is anyone else a masshole in this room? Please raise your hand proudly. You don't use your blinker sometimes, all those things, yes. All my friends call me that. I am from Springfield, Mass, so Western Massachusetts, where you start finding a lot of Yankees fans and those awful things. Some of you might know that Springfield is famous for being the home of basketball. Anybody know that? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, basketball Hall of Fame. But Springfield is also a very poor city. So 1 in 3 people in Springfield live below the poverty line, and that's where I'm from. Born and raised, never lived anywhere else. I went to public schools, and I'm here standing with all of you, working at a nonprofit, hoping to change that cycle that exists all over this state, all over this country, right? So I want to tell you this quick story about my family. When I was about 10 years old, my dad was laid off from his job, and he had no job for about 9 months. It was a really hard time for our family. My older brother, my older sister, and I all had to change schools. A lot of things started changing for our family because our income had changed. It was a really shaky ground time for our family, and that's how we talk about where we meet a lot of our members that live. It's on shaky ground moments. Something in their life has changed unexpectedly, either a job loss, a relationship ending, a healthcare crisis. I think most of you in this room can attest that those things happen to you as well. You don't live in poverty, but you've experienced moments of crisis in your life. And so you all have social networks. I know for us, my dad, for some of those 9 months, I can remember that he drove a fish truck for a family friend who owned a seafood business, delivering seafood. Not my dad's field at all, but you do what you need to do when you're in those hard times, right? So our family had a social network that could really support us and help us. Here in Boston, we serve about 2,500 families, and those people often don't have that social network. I think a lot of you can attest that without your social networks, you wouldn't be where you are today, whether that's family or friends. At Lyft, we work to lift people out of poverty for good. So we say, what is it that is allowing 1 in 5 Americans to live in poverty, move out of poverty, and then back in poverty within 5 years? Why does that happen? How come you can attain a certain level of life and quickly lose that, and quickly move back to that? So at Lyft, you walk into one of our offices, you're on a shaky ground moment, and you're greeted by a highly trained advocate, a volunteer who has decided that they're going to take at least 4 hours of their week to work one-on-one with community members here in the city. So usually a smiling face. Most of them are college students, not all of them, but most of them are college students coming from BC, UMass, Tufts, some of the larger universities around the city, and they are often very idealistic and say, yes, I can help you. So you're greeted with dignity, respect. Hi, I'm Melissa, I can help you. I've been trained, I've been through about 30 hours of training, and I can help you with whatever those problems are. So you come into Lyft and you set a goal plan. You say, I lost my job, I don't have a place to live, whatever those things are. And we will work with you to set a goal plan. And over the next however many weeks or months it takes, we're going to work with you to get you to that place. Something that we like to highlight about our work that's different than a lot of organizations is that we really say, you know what's best for you. So just like none of you could probably walk into my life and tell me exactly how to get where I want to be and how to live that, and people don't do that for you, we don't do that for our members either. They come to us and they talk to us about what they want and how they can get there, and we try to help them get there. So 3 basic principles that we believe is that all of us need personal, social, and financial pillars in our lives. Very similar to Crittenton Women's Union, have some pillars there. And we do some of the similar work as them around financial stability. And so if you don't have money in the bank, a network of people around you, and personal confidence that you can reach your goals, you're not going to reach them. So we really believe that with these 3 pillars in your life, you can change that generational cycle of poverty that we see often in the families that we work with. I want to tell you a brief story. How am I doing on time? Okay.
45 seconds.
45 seconds. All right. I'm going to skip my story. I only have 45 seconds. I was going to tell you a story about a mom with 3 kids. Something that we talk about is trying to change the idea of what poverty looks like, the conversation around poverty, really stripping away that idea that we have welfare queens who are just sitting back, relaxing, taking it all in, and they're happy to live like that. It's not the truth about the members that we work with. Unfortunately, I'll skip my story. But I'd like for all of you to understand that at Lyft we believe that a handshake, a smile, a hug, a resume, a cover letter, that these are the things that are changing people's lives one step at a time, one day at a time, 1 week, one member to member, one-on-one client meeting at a time. And we really see the changes. I would invite you all to come into our offices and come see this I'd love to tell you the story about Marvina. You can come talk to me at the table back there. And then briefly on to Melanie's point about financial gifts being small and still changing. The Robin Hood Foundation, I'm sure many of you are familiar with them. They say that if you give $1 to Lyft, we're going to give you $250 in outcomes. So you want to talk about a good investment. Thank you.